This is my place. Recently I had some family over and they were pointing out some interesting things in my place that, I don't know, I feel like isn't really a big deal to anyone other than me. But I really love what I've done with it. It feels very me. It's colorful and eclectic, but homey, I would think. I don't know. I wanted it to be warm and inviting and also interesting. So I kind of want to show off a few things that either one, I made, or two, I thrifted, or three, I just love and adore about this place. So this is like my main area. You walk in through over there. You basically come in and you see my living room. Now, where to start? This is my little side table. First of all, I love my side table. It has this little thing down here. It has this little record on it. I thrifted this record in some little pawn shop thing in a town that I was just passing through and looking at stuff. I always liked the idea of having records, but honestly, I wouldn't really listen to them, so I don't know. I like them more as a visual piece, if anything. But I found this one, and it says, "From a girl's point of view, we give to you love unlimited." I love the colors. I love what it says. So I kind of have it for display under my little side table. I have these flowers. These were from a store, and I think they were on super mega sale. They're also massive. Like, they're huge. And they were on crazy discount because they were considered like holiday. I think that they look pretty good for fake flowers. They're pretty. Look at this one. And the fact that they're so massive kind of gave me like a Alice in Wonderland kind of feel, a Wonderland feel. Honestly, I don't think that I've ever seen that movie. But it was what I thought of. I don't know. This is my little cabinet I have behind my couch. It's like craft stuff and books, extra supplies, random things. But what's on top is really fun. For one, I have a melting clock. I forgot where I got this, but I thought it looked cool. I've seen it in other places, like on Pinterest and stuff and whatever. I'd seen this kind of thing before, so when I found it, I thought it was really cool. She hangs right off the side. She looks like this, but on the other side. I have two of these. They're like twins. I thrifted them. This one is obviously orange. The other one is on my dining table, and it's blue. It's, I think, meant to hold candles or something. I usually have it hold random things. At one point it was coins. It might still be coins. This one just has a single battery in it, but it might also be a coaster. I don't know what it is. The point is, I don't know. But it has this really grumpy face on it, and I like it. I think that that's so funny. Next, I have this giant thing. I wanted a cool looking lamp, but if you didn't know, lamps are really expensive. Everything is really expensive. So there's actually a local little thrift store, and it's right next door to where I live. So one day I walked myself over there and I found strictly this thing. I think it's supposed to be some kind of vase or something, but obviously got it. And then I got a light. So what I normally do is at night, I turn this on and it becomes a little lamp, and it looks way cooler at night. And then I stuck one of the giant flowers in it. And now this is my cool little lamp. Love her. This just holds candy, to be honest. These are some doodles. I think my boyfriend actually got me this, if I'm not mistaken. But I put a bunch of my doodles in there. Just holds candy. This little, I thought this was a funky little art piece. I thrifted this. She just kind of takes up space here. This, I painted a long time ago. I wanted to try and paint on glass because I thought it was an interesting surface to work on. Hey, it was hard. It's really slippery. Things don't layer the way that you would want them to. But now I think it's this really cool, fragile piece of art. Just a little eye. And I put her right on here. Then I have this game. I thrifted this game. Also these sunglasses that just the game wears them. This is such a fun, random, entertaining game. You have to try and get this ring on this hook before the other person. Super simple game, but I think it keeps people off of their phones and entertained. Sometimes I just play it. I love having something easy just around that you can do. And then lastly on here, at least that I feel like showing, these are some of my prized possessions. I thrifted these. They're shot glasses, but I don't really drink. And there's a lot of people in my family who went sober. Regardless though, I think that they look super cool, so I had to get them. They are like a little pool ball set, whatever you call, I don't know. But they sit there like that. I think for whatever, these could be really fun. I thought about making them candles. Also, I just like having them on display. I love these. So I have them right on here too. That's kind of this section. I have a lot of people just like pick things up, play with things. And I think it's fun. This is my workspace. Everything is kind of in one area for the most part. So this is where I work because I work from home. I have a big calendar. Sometimes I forget my stand for my other monitor, in which case I just put the screen on my easel. I have an easel. Or she just holds things that I need to look at during the day when I'm working. Obviously not a lot of space, just kind of working with what I got. What I do love is this I made. It was inspired by something else that I'll show in a minute. But this is a print of mine. It says, "Have you left anything behind?" I make these little prints, doodles, drawings, things, illustrations. But I actually made the box, and I think that's really fun. This is obviously a picture frame. You can put whatever. I just like to put my print. And then it swings open, and you can actually store little things in here. This is what I have in it right now. There are some pictures, some notes, another doodle, little stained glass piece that I found, little statue. This was from my grandma. It's just a little eye. It was hanging. I don't know where it is now. It feels like hidden in plain sight. When people come in and they start looking at things and are interested in things, this is one. Since it sticks out from the wall a little bit, a couple of inches, they come over, they look at whatever la-di-da, and obviously curiosity killed the cat, and everyone ends up opening it. And it's such a fun little surprise to find some memories. Sometimes people have found themselves in here. Yeah, this is really fun, and I made these, and I actually made one for a wedding gift. It started as a wedding gift, and then I made myself one because I really liked it. I saw this on Pinterest, so I made my way over to the thrift store and made one. One of the pieces fell off. Don't look at that. But it's just a little hat rack. People come in, put their hats on there. I guess while we're over here, this is the other little guy. This is my table over here. It's not very interesting, I don't think, but he sits on there with my napkins. This is one of my prized possessions. I'm obsessed, and I love her so much. This is my mug display. So she rotates, and every morning I get to pick out a mug. When people come over, they get to pick out a mug. Most of these have been thrifted. Some of them have been gifted. I love every single one of these, just because I like to show off my prized possessions. One of my favorites is It Is What It Is. Red is my favorite color, and also Facts has a little star on the inside. Love that. When I'm just having a tough day I love this mug. It says, "I love places that make you realize how tiny you and your problems are." Sometimes I need that. One of my absolute faves that I had to replace because it was a little chipped, my cow mug with udders. Some people think that this one is really weird. I think it's fun. This is also one that when I need a smaller portion, but I'm upset or it's raining, this one just fits the bill. It says, "When it rains, it pours." And it's the little salt girl. I'm not going to go through all of them, but also classic number one dad. I'm not a parent. I'm not a dad. But I think it's funny. Sometimes I drink out of this one just a little ironically, and I think that it's funny. I have, can you see, a little plant on top of her? Usually people just like to go through this, so I thought I would show. This is one of the first things that I thrifted, and I adore it. I love it so much. So it's my mail holder, right? It's simple. There's not much, going on here. But like the other thing, she also opens, and she's a key holder. Oh, and I guess that there's one more thing. So this thing in general, I thrifted. It's definitely some kind of display for something, but I found it still in the box. You couldn't see what it was unless you fully opened the cardboard box that it was packaged in. And thankfully I did that, and I didn't use all of the pieces, but I made this kind of configuration, and this is, my ottoman is also like my coffee table. So when I have this on it, it's basically my coffee table, and then I take it off and it's my ottoman. But obviously I have playing cards. Like I said, I like just having easy things for people to be able to do when they're sitting here. And then I have an agenda, like a planner, a notebook, oil pastels, just a big piece of glass that I use as my mixing palette, another book, and this is an old Illustrators like zine that I found, also thrifting. I actually ended up making some wrapping paper out of it, I think a year or two ago, for Christmas, and it was really cool. But that's there. And then I have a photo album. This is actually a photo album that I made when I was little. This came with a Barbie movie, I believe. I think maybe she had this in a movie, so that you could fill it with a whole bunch of memories. And in general, another one of my prized possessions is my couch. I love my couch. It's huge and it's comfortable and it wasn't that expensive. Again, for anyone who's buying furniture, it's so freaking expensive, and this couch was a deal. Also, just kind of want to show her off. I have her loaded with so many pillows. Some people hate that, some people love it. I love it. But I spend most of my time hanging out here. Sometimes I sleep on here because I love my couch. That's, I think, some of the most talked about parts to my place. When I have people over, it was interesting that family member, they were just walking around there, like, it feels like a museum, or it feels interactive, like you're supposed to, weirdly, like you're supposed to look around at things and, open compartments and find and move, spin, like it feels interactive. And I thought that was really cool, because I don't really know if I intended on doing that, but I love it. And I think it means a lot because I wasn't someone who moved in here. I moved in here with nothing, by the way. A mattress that came right out of the box that needed to expand. That was all I moved with. So slowly but surely, over the past couple of years, I've been finding things and sourcing things from different places. I didn't want to just rush in and buy a whole bunch of things, like a whole set to make everything look exactly the same or whatever. I wanted to find things that fit the vibe that I was going for. And yeah, even like when my brother was here, it was like, it feels like everything does belong, but in a very individual and unique way. And I love that. Also, I feel like it's really easy to just get a bunch of things that you like, but that don't necessarily go together. sometimes I have that issue with clothes, or at least I used to, I think. Speaking of clothes, I guess last thing that I like kind of made, this shirt. It says, by the way, I'm going out tonight. I'm not. It's a Sunday. The World Cup is on. I'm gonna be watching that in a little bit. But I saw someone who had like it looked like a hoodie material t-shirt, and I kind of wanted that. I ended up thrifting this one, and I was so scared that I was gonna ruin it. I actually kind of love her. She's relaxed. She's like nothing crazy. She's a very nice, chill top that I can wear when I'm just lounging. And I thought that this was cute. That's my place. Those are a few of my favorite things about my place, and a few of the things that I'm asked about the most about my place. So I kind of wanted to show it off. I also feel like one day I'm not going to be here, and the thought of that makes me so sad. But also I'm hoping and praying and really believing that I can do this again wherever I end up, wherever I go to next. That's what's been on my mind, and I wish I could link 8 million things, but I'm telling you, the absolute vast majority of the things here were secondhand. That's kind of all I got. So thank you for coming over. I like having people over, and come again.